Hi there, my name is Ron Rogers, and this presentation is called Tales of the Three-Holer. Now, there's a little bit of, I don't know, unsure background on where that term comes from. Does it refer to the three holes for the three engines, or the three potties on board the aircraft? Matter of discussion. I really like this airplane, and for a while I was captain on it. I flew all three seats on it, but when I was a captain on it, this picture down here is slightly unusual, and you're probably going, what's wrong with that picture? Well, it's pretty obvious. There are no baggage carts, there's no jetway, there's no fuel truck there or fuel lines. What happened in this case was this aircraft, I went down to a small airport in Louisiana and picked it up from the paint shop. So it was nice, pristine, pretty, and new. Now, here's one of my airplanes. This is a Great Lakes, if you may have seen some of the videos, and I liked it so much I put the tail number of the 727, and also the KR is my wife's initials. Always want to get the buy-in of the wife. Now, the one thing nice about the 727 was that it was a very fast aircraft. And depending on fuel load, altitude, temperature, conditions like that, you could get some pretty good speed out of it. And I'm coming in from LaGuardia going into Chicago, and they tell me best forward speed. They do that so you can get some spacing. And I said, great. So I accelerated up, and you get shockwaves over the eyebrow windows, which is probably one of the reasons I'm wearing hearing aids now. But it gets very noisy when you go fast. But I'm up there, and I'm doing 0.89. Well, another aircraft comes on frequency, and they tell him to slow to 8.2. And he says, well, I can give you 8.5. Center comes back and says, well, the guy you're following is doing 8.9. Without disclosing any details, he just keys the mic and says, don't you love the three-holer? Like I said, it was a fun airplane. You could go fast. I came in one time, another LaGuardia trip, and they told me to get best forward speed. Okay, fine. Cleveland Center made that request. And when I changed over frequencies to Chicago Center, they said, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm doing 380 indicated, but I can give you more if you need it. Our barber pole was at 405 indicated. And the controller just comes back laughing and says, no, I think that'll be good enough. Well, in the days when I was a co-pilot on the 727, we had a lot of very interesting old school captains, and these guys knew how to fly the airplane. They really did, and they were just a joy to fly with. Some of them were kind of crusty in that, but all in all, they were a lot of fun to fly with. And I had one trip with a captain we called Fast Howie, and it was out of LaGuardia again. It was on a Saturday, so traffic's a little more light, but my son had the lead in a play that evening, and I was going to miss the start of it because the trip didn't get in time for me to get from Chicago back up to Crystal Lake where I live. So I told the captain, I said, hey, it was his leg. He gave me the leg to LaGuardia, which is very nice of him, and he was flying the leg back. And I said, Captain, there's my son's is in a play, but I'm going to miss the start of it. And Captain Fast Howie looked at me and said, no, you're not. Okay. So we took off, and did we ever go fast? And that was the nice thing about the airplane. Like I said, if you wanted to go fast, you could go fast. So we're coming into Chicago. At 10,000 feet, we are abeam the runway. We landed on 14 left, if I remember correctly. And we were abeam the runway, and tower cleared us to land. Okay? Rather unusual. For O'Hare, especially now. No big long line of aircraft. We were at 10,000 feet, abeam the runway, and we were cleared to land. So captain said, okay. He, of course, brought the engines back, speed brakes, and we slowed and started on down. And he said to me, he says, okay, I'm going to bring it around. And this was kind of before the days of stabilized approaches. And he said, get me the flaps as soon as you can get them with the airspeed permitting. So we're coming. We hit the marker at 250 knots. And the flaps are coming out. Of course, the gear's down. And I keep milking them out as the speed permits. And we have a nice touchdown. We taxi to the gate. and we get in 58 minutes early. People are getting off the aircraft, and they're saying, I have never been this early before. So we got there nice and early, and I was able to get off the airplane, drive home, and I'm sitting in the audience waiting for the play to begin. Three-holer. Very enjoyable airplane. Of course, they're obsolete now, but it was a privilege to fly it. It was a type of airplane that was just an absolutely true joy. Thanks for watching.